It's 4:41 in the morning. In a quiet Houston suburb, the streets are silent, the neighborhood fast asleep. Inside a two-story family home, a teenage boy is on the phone with 911. His voice trembles. You can hear the panic, the disbelief. He says, "I just killed my sister."
It was a dream. I took my knife and I stabbed her. Please, I don't want her to die. I'm sorry.
How old is she?
17, we're twins.
Is she awake?
Yes, she's like barely alive.
Is there anyone else there in the house with you?
There is, it's my parents, but they're asleep.
Okay, I need you to go wake them up.
Mom! Dad!
We're gonna have to start CPR right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Keep cupping her chest, just like that, okay?
Where's your son? Where's your son? Okay, we got it. EMS is coming.
Okay, slow down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can we take over? Can you step out? Thank you.
What happened, son? It was a dream. He said it was a dream, honey. What the?
I don't know what I'll do if she's not. It was just a dream, and then it wasn't.
I'm gonna do a search of you real quick, and then I'm gonna put you in the back seat out of this rain, okay?
That boy was 17-year-old Benjamin Elliott. The girl he killed was his twin sister, Meghan. Born together, raised together, inseparable. Now one was dead, and the other stood over her body in shock. Was it murder or a nightmare come to life? This is the story of Benjamin Elliott, the boy who killed his twin. Benjamin and Meghan Elliott were twins, born just minutes apart in 2004. They grew up in Katy, Texas, a quiet, middle-class suburb. Their parents, Kathy and Michael, raised 3 children, an older daughter, Elizabeth, and the twins, Benjamin and Meghan. Everyone who knew them said the same thing. They were close, not just siblings, but best friends. They shared classes, hobbies, late-night talks that went on for hours. Benjamin was quiet, analytical, fascinated by computers and engineering. Meghan was expressive, creative, always drawing, always smiling. They weren't troublemakers. They didn't fight. If anything, they protected each other. But Benjamin had one unusual trait, something the family thought was just a harmless quirk. He sleepwalked. As a child, he'd wander the hallways at night, sometimes talking, sometimes even eating in his sleep. He'd wake up confused, unaware of what he'd done. The family laughed it off. Stories about their sleepwalking boy. None of them imagined that one day, that same condition would be the center of a murder trial. It was late Tuesday night, September 28th, 2021. Benjamin stayed up in his room, scrolling through his phone, texting, watching videos. Digital forensics later confirmed activity on his phone until 4:17 a.m. Then, suddenly, nothing. No more movement. No typing. No scrolling. 24 minutes later, 4:41 a.m. Benjamin dialed 911, his voice shaking, terrified. "I just killed my sister," he said. "I thought I was dreaming." When officers arrived, Benjamin was crouched beside Meghan's bed, covered in blood, pressing a pillow against her neck, trying to stop the bleeding. He told them he had found a knife lodged in her throat and pulled it out. Meghan had 2 stab wounds to the neck. One had severed a major artery. The weapon, a fixed-blade Air Force survival knife, a gift from his father, earlier that same day. Body cam footage captured Benjamin's shock. He kept repeating, "I thought I was dreaming. Please help her." But Meghan was gone. The house that had been peaceful just hours earlier was now a crime scene. Detectives from Harris County began piecing together what happened. They photographed the scene, collected the knife, the pillow, blood samples. But something stood out. For a stabbing, there was very little blood on the walls. No clear spatter pattern. Forensic analysts said the likely reason was that a pillow had absorbed most of it. The prosecution argued the pillow was used to muffle Meghan's screams. The defense claimed Benjamin used it afterwards to stop the bleeding. There was no sign of forced entry, no broken windows, no sounds loud enough to wake the family sleeping just down the hall. Whatever happened silently. Detectives searched Benjamin's phone, laptop, social media, looking for motive, but there was nothing. No angry messages, no resentment, no signs of hatred or planning. In fact, the text showed affection, support, and typical teenage closeness. Benjamin was an intelligent, quiet, somewhat anxious boy, someone who thought too much, not someone prone to violence. So if he loved his sister and had no reason to harm her, what really happened that night? The key question was the 24-minute gap, from 4:17 to 4:41 a.m. Benjamin's phone showed no activity. The prosecution said that during that time, he retrieved a knife, walked into Meghan's room, and stabbed her twice. But the defense saw something else, a sleepwalking episode, parasomnia, a disorder where the brain gets trapped between dreaming and waking. The body moves while the mind sleeps. Benjamin's lawyer argued he was unconscious, his body on autopilot, his mind elsewhere. They called in Dr. Gerald Simmons, a neurologist and expert in sleep medicine. Over several nights, Dr. Simmons studied Benjamin's brain activity. He found that Benjamin entered deep sleep within 11 minutes, a pattern common in parasomnia, though Benjamin didn't sleepwalk during testing. Dr. Simmons testified that under stress or exhaustion, it was entirely possible. He told the court, Benjamin definitely killed his sister, but not voluntarily. There was no anger, no motive, just tragedy, a family torn apart by something beyond understanding. But the prosecution wasn't convinced. They brought in their own expert, Dr. Mark Pressman, psychologist and sleep researcher. He argued that Benjamin's actions were too complex for a sleepwalker, retrieving a knife, unsheathing it, finding his sister, stabbing her twice in the neck, then calling 911. That, he said, required conscious decision-making. Dr. Pressman pointed out Benjamin told police he remembered feeling the knife go in. True sleepwalkers, he explained, rarely recall any sensation or sequence. To him, that memory meant Benjamin was awake. The prosecution also noted the missing blood spatter and the pillow's careful placement. That wasn't random. That was control. Then there was his composure during questioning. He spoke clearly, logically, even recalling earlier events from that day. That wasn't the behavior of someone waking from a dream. Still, the motive remained unclear. Why? No one could say. But, as prosecutors reminded the jury, lack of motive does not mean lack of guilt. And one fact was undeniable. Benjamin Elliott held the knife. The trial began in early 2025 in a packed Harris County courtroom. Benjamin sat quietly beside his attorneys, his family behind him, some crying, others frozen in disbelief. Prosecutors presented crime scene photos, the 911 call, and expert testimony. The defense centered entirely on parasomnia. Benjamin didn't testify. He said he didn't remember enough. For days, jurors listened to medical experts and psychologists, charts of brain waves, sleep patterns, case studies like the 1987 Kenneth Parks case in Canada, where a man drove 14 miles while asleep and killed his in-laws. He was acquitted. The defense argued Benjamin's case was similar. The prosecution disagreed. After closing statements, the jury deliberated for 4 hours. When they returned, the room fell silent. The verdict, guilty of felony murder. Benjamin collapsed into his chair. His family sobbed. He faced up to 40 years. But the judge, noting his age and lack of history, sentenced him to 15. Benjamin Elliott, now 21, is serving time in a Texas state facility. He'll be eligible for parole in 2032. Meghan Elliott was 17. Creative, kind, full of promise. Her friends remembered her laughter, her art, her heart. Her family will never be the same. Benjamin's parents remain torn between grief for their daughter and love for their son. In a statement to court, Benjamin said softly, "I loved her. I never meant to hurt her." His attorneys have filed an appeal, arguing the evidence supports an unconscious act. But one question still lingers. Can someone truly kill while asleep? Science says it's rare, but not impossible. There are cases, there are victims, and there are families who live with the unanswered. How do you punish someone for a crime their mind didn't know it was committing? For now, Benjamin Elliott remains behind bars, and Meghan remains forever 17. Two twins, one gone, one imprisoned, both victims of something no one fully understands. Benjamin Elliott will be eligible for parole in 2032. This story is dedicated to the memory of Meghan Elliott,